Of the important projects we thought we'll touch upon, the National Insurance Policy Repository. I mean, this again, through this project, you as an insurance policy holder will be able to open a e-insurance account. Now again, this e-insurance account is a separate account. Don't get confused. At the moment, you need to open a separate application form is required to be given. Separate KYC has to be done. But the flexibility is that all your insurance policies, life insurance policies, can be held in a single e-insurance account. So that is the benefit. So you may have multiple policies with Birla Sun Life and LIC or Max Bupa. All these policies can be held in a single e-insurance account. So what is the benefit? Again, the benefit is that all the data is available in the electronic form. You don't need to hassle or take care of your physical policies. Don't need to worry about the physical policies. It is available to you in a single contact in your demat when you log into your e-account. And only one single KYC is required at the time of your e-insurance account opening. Multiple KYC is not required. When you have opened your e-insurance account and when subsequently you buy one more policy from another policy company, then KYC is not required. Okay, that is one other important point. The other benefit to the investor is that, the user is that, when you change your demographic details, the only contact point is your e-insurance account. You update your e-insurance account details, automatically all the insurance companies will get updated with your latest information. So these are the important points which are available to you through this project of National Insurance Repository. And most importantly, the most important point is that this account is a free account to you. There are no charges applicable to the e-insurance account holder. If you open and avail this service, there are no charges applicable to you. And how to open this account? There are entities called approved persons. These approved persons are many of the banks and institutions are approved persons who have got license from the IRDA, because IRDA is the regulatory body for the insurance sector. They have got registrations from IRDA and they offer you these services. They are called as approved persons. So you can contact an approved person and open an insurance account and avail this service. Now the other important project NSDL Group Company manages is the National Pension System. Again, now the National Pension System is the product which is product which is being offered by the Government of India to all its central government employees, and which is regulated by the PFRDA, Pension Fund Regulatory and Development Authority, is the regulatory body for the NPS system. Now, for all these central government employees who are in employment since 2004, it is mandatorily applicable, and it is also mandatorily applicable for many of the state governments. They have implemented the NPS. Now, having said that, government also gave an opportunity to the citizens, general citizens of the country, to avail the pension system, now NPS system. Now, what is the benefit of this pension system is that you as an individual, if you're not a government employee, state or central government employee, you don't need to worry. You can always now open a pension account with a service provider called point of presence, POP. Now again, don't get into the jargons of who's POP, what is the POP, how should I get in touch with you. These are the jargon names for the entities who are offering you services. Now the POP is, many of the banks and financial institutions are registered as a POP with the PFRDA. So they are offering you these services. So you need to approach a point of presence POP, open a pension account and start contributing your contributions to the pension account. Now, what is the objective of this pension account? And as the name says, this is purely a pension account. When you attain the age of 60 years, after 60, none of us will be working. Most of us will not work because we retire. When you retire, you don't have the regular earnings, but your expenses will continue, and in fact, expenses will be more. So you need to bridge that gap of your expenses with the regular source of income. So today, we don't have any social security from our internal systems to ensure that you have a regular source of income after the age of 60. So to ensure that, you need to open a pension account. It's a purely contributory benefit scheme. The more you contribute, that much of corpus gets accumulated into your pension account, and it gets accumulated into your account, and these accumulations are made investments into the market through pension fund managers. Now again, these pension fund managers are again registered with the PFRDA. You can select actually which pension fund manager should manage your fund and in which schemes you should get invested, and you can track, and over a period of time, if you don't like their performance, you can actually switch. You can make a change also. So please make use of this NPS system. Now there are two types of accounts in NPS, Tier 1 and Tier 2. Tier 1 is a purely pension account. You can contribute into it, accumulate the wealth, and you will be able to get the wealth what you have accumulated in the Tier 1 account at the age of 60 years. So it's a purely pension account. The other one is a tier 2 account. Tier 2 account, you can make investments in the account, and whenever you have a need to withdraw the funds, you can do that. It's an investment account. But the only difference is that if you want to open tier 2, tier 1 is mandatory. Okay, so first you need to have a pension account, then only you can open the tier 2 account. Now the other project, what we, the NSDL group company, NDML manages is the National Skills Registry. Now it's a very unique project which is being implemented in our country, which we have implemented for the NASSCOM. NASSCOM is the industry representative body of the IT and ITS companies. So actually they wanted Indian IT companies to enhance their, the non-economic barrier, okay? To enhance the non-economic competitive barrier with the foreign companies. Because what Indian IT companies does is, they work for the foreign clients. They get business of the foreign companies and they work on their business in India with the employees who are employed in India. So there's a lot of concern from the companies who are giving business to Indian companies to ensure that what kind of profile of your employees. So that was a gray area which NASSCOM wanted to bring in some changes. So they have implemented this National Skills Registry. So to put it in very simple terms, NSR is a web-based system wherein a permanent profile of an individual person, factual information is made available with background verification by a third-party entity, and which is also uniquely verified through biometrics. So for an individual, as an individual who's working in the IT and BP industry, what is the benefit? Your profile, when it is available on the National Skills Registry, it is a readily referenced profile for the potential employer. You can actually make the authorization to a particular employer to view your profile, because your profile is a readily available profile for the industry to accept it. So it's a very credible source of information which is built by the, in the NSR system. Okay, probably it may not be useful for the people who are not looking for employment, but definitely who are looking for employment and who are in the roles of the companies in the IT and ITS industry. It's a very important development which has happened in the markets. Now, lastly, some do's and don'ts for the investors to ensure that whatever investment decisions you have taken, they are maintained correctly and properly. Do's, check whether securities are available for demat. When you submit physical instruments, securities, check whether that company is available for demat. Handle delivery instruction slip book issued to you carefully. Give equal importance the way we handle a bank checkbook. Similar precautions you should take for a delivery instruction slip book also. Right surrendered for demat in case you're surrendering a physical share certificate to a depository participant. Check whether serial number is pre-printed and your current account number is pre-stamped on the delivery instruction slip. When DP issues you a delivery instruction slip book, ensure that each leaf is having a running serial number and your client ID is pre-printed on the delivery instruction slip. These are similar controls what we have on a bank check. Okay, those controls need to be there. And avoid general power of attorney, and power of attorney is not compulsory. Okay, so avoid giving a general power of attorney to your stockbroker or to your depository participant. There are alternate routes available to you. You can also make use of Speedy to transfer shares electronically from your account to the broker's account. But before giving a power of attorney participant when you open a demat account, what is the benefit of this is that any transaction which is taking place in your demat account, you will be receiving a SMS alert directly from a depository, that is NSDL. So through your mobile, you are kept informed what is happening in your demat account. It's a very powerful risk mitigation tool which all of you should make use of. There are no charges to it. Only requirement is that you need to share your mobile number with your depository participant. Similarly, a very effective communication tool is your email ID. Share your email ID with your depository participant. Any important communication, validated information, any critical information, DP will be able to reach to you faster through sending an email. Similar manner, NSDL wants to communicate to you some important value information. NSDL will be able to reach to you through an email ID. So these are important information dissemination tools. You're having it, you should make use of. Then don't leave your delivery instruction slip signed and unattended. Okay, do not give your blank delivery instruction slip signed to your stockbroker or to your DP. Please ensure that all the details are properly filled in, signed in, submit to the DP, and take a proper acknowledgement in your own interest. Issue demat delivery instruction slip from any. Do not issue delivery instruction from any other family members' accounts. If it is your own account, you should make your own delivery instruction slip, not for the other account. Deal based on rumors. Don't deal based on rumors or tips. Again, it is a suggestion. We should practice it. Don't get swayed by promises of high returns. Okay, and don't sign blank nomination form without writing the nominee's name. Very, very important. Again, don't sign the form just like that. Fill in the nominee details. Read it, you have given a correct nomination, sign it and submit it. Okay? So these are some important points which we thought with you. With this, I conclude my presentation. Thank you all for your patience listening. Thank you.
On my mobile, but the number is issued in my name, but somebody else is used in the previous one. How to delete that? No, this is important. The DP is not belong to me, but I am getting the SMS.
You are receiving an SMS?
Yes.
Is that account belongs to you? The demat account? Okay.
No. I am using the SIM. What the service providers, that is telecom providers provided. That SIM is used somewhere else earlier.
So it's basically
how to delete that message from my side?
No, basically in that particular demat account.
I don't know the demat account.
Very good, sir. In that demat account, your mobile number would have been there.
Yeah.
That is the reason you are receiving that message. If that message doesn't belong to you and you do not have that account, you can give that information to us. Based on that, you can give it to NSDL. You can write to NSDL. We'll share with you the contact details. You can provide you that, and we will ensure that that mobile number gets removed from the account. We will be verifying that in that particular account what is the mobile number and how it has come, and based on that we will be able to come back to it.
I'll give my mobile number. Just
Fine, you can give the details. You can give the details. Please share the details. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. I would request Ms. Sandhya to please present a respected speaker with a token of appreciation. Thank you again, sir. Now that we've gained knowledge about different options available to us in the market, it is time to get a clear idea on how and which of these tools to use while planning our own personal investments. I would like to call upon Mr. Gaurav Mashruwala, who is a financial planning expert, to guide us with the same. Apart from his practice, Mr. Mashruwala writes columns in various English, Hindi and Gujarati publications as well as TV channels. He is also visiting faculty at management institutes lecturing on matters of personal finance. After over 2 decades of professional experience, he has realized that money alone is not a solution to most financial problems, and there is a need to look at money and wealth in a more comprehensive and holistic manner. To tell you more about it, Mr. Mashruwala.
Annai Vanakkam. Thank you very much, Chennai. I come from financial capital of India, but when I come here, I feel it's a temple of Lakshmi. Very, very pious place. The kind of temples that I see in this company, in this state, and the pious nature of this. And at the same time, there is a modern aura as well. So the entire thing has been blended in such a beautiful manner. It's always a blessing to come here and talk to you. I'm going to talk about financial planning, and when you come last as a speaker, most of the things have already been spoken. So it's very difficult, and people are kind of getting tired and whatever it is, but I'll do my best, and I assure you I will not exceed my time. In fact, I'll try and complete it beforehand, so you'll not have to. That's number one. Number two, we have already had speakers who have spoken about setting financial goals. How many of you all have actually written down financial goals? Okay. So what about others? Have others never heard of financial goals? They don't have financial goals? Is it that nobody has ever told them, or is there some kind of lethargicness? Lethargicness? Okay. So what is the first question that a taxiwala will ask you, or an auto rickshaw driver will ask you, or an auto person will ask you when you sit in an auto? Where do you want to go? Where do you want to go? And imagine if your answer is, Pata nahi hai. What will he do? He'll ask you to get down. Great, you are in Chennai. So he'll be honest and he'll say, get down. Most other parts, what they will say is they'll take you on a long ride, which is their goal of making a lot of money. Please note this down. People who don't work for their financial goals work for somebody else's financial goals. Get this thing loud and clear. We have this problem again and again. Every time I go on to stage and I start talking and I ask this question, and When I have real long time, I ask people to raise their hands. How many of you all want to make a lot of money? Honestly here, how many of you all want to make a lot of money? Put your hands up. All of us. Brilliant. Somebody wants to make still more money, put both the hands up. I'm not come with a gun. Yeah, sometimes if audience is really tired or after lunch, I make them stand up, but I'm not going to do that, don't worry. And then we have everybody putting one hand up or two hands up, and people want to make a lot of money. And then we had only 5-7 people who said that they have made list of financial goals, which means the situation is that you are sitting in a rickshaw, auto rickshaw, or a taxi or a cab or whatever it is, and you are saying pata nahi hai. You are saying, I don't know where I want to go. And everybody keeps saying that decide a goal, and we are not able to do it. And you know why? Because it's our mind that creates a havoc. Believe me, the biggest problem is mind. Every time we all speakers go and we speak, and then when we have question answers, what are the questions that comes? Is this the right time to invest in market? Is this a good time to invest in market? How do you see the future? And then there could be questions on which is the best stock and which is the best scheme. And then there'll be questions on there are problems with regulators, there are problems with particular scheme. You know something? The biggest problem is that we have not articulated our destination. We are stuck, and that's why mind creates. Everybody in the audience knows that it's important to have financial goals, and most of the people have not done it because every time we sit down to make a list of financial goals, mind will start giving excuses. Mind will start saying, wait, let's do it after Diwali. Wait, let me get next bonus. I have people who are saying, let me get next increment. People who are saying, you know, I don't want to start with small amount, I want to start with big amount. Or somebody will get up and say, you know, I want to understand things thoroughly. These are all the excuses that are being given. And it's our mind which is creating all this. And instead of looking inward, which is our financial goals, we start looking outwards. So we start looking at stock market, we start looking at NAV, we start looking at equity. It's easier to do that. But is our goals that volatile? Can any father get up and go and tell his son, son, why don't you defer your marriage by a year? You know, I think Infosys is going to give bonus. How will it sound? Imagine if father was to go and tell daughter who has come home, maternity, she's going to deliver, saying that, you know, just defer it by 6 months. I really feel NAV is going to go up. Our own situation is not as dynamic. Our situation, we will have to fulfill all our responsibilities whether stock market goes up, gold goes down, Greece stays or not, China does something, or India opens up or not. Right or wrong? We all will have to fulfill those. Are they dependent on whether Greece stays afloat or not? What will happen to Eurozone? Then why are we looking at that? It's because our mind doesn't allow us to. The most dangerous person on planet Earth is our own self, our own mind. And that will keep happening, and that's because there is mind which creates havoc. And hence I'm going to talk about simple ways of making a financial goal list. I'm going to show you something which is what all of you all can do. Can I have the... Can you all see this? See what we have done. You put, when you go home today, please take your photograph. Take a selfie if you want. And then make list of all your financial goals. Just put it next to it. And keep looking at it daily. This is what you are saving for. This is what you are investing for. This is what you want. One-page financial plan. And this is what your life revolves around. And do it with your family. Simplest way. Because if you do it with your family, everybody will be committed to it. And we have brilliant situation. We do this with all our clients. For each and every client of ours, we ask them to give them a family photograph, and then we take this, we put these names. In fact, if any of you all want it, if you send me within a week's time my email ID, I'll give it to you at the end of my discussion. Send me your photographs, send me your goals, we'll make a sheet and send it to you. But do it within a week or something and say you attended this program. because otherwise I'll have a whole lot of India sending it to me, and I have no problem, but then I have, but do this. Do one more thing. Next to these goals, the way Sabyasachi spoke about, write down the schemes. He said, name the schemes and do that. So if you're saving money in a SIP for going to Switzerland, please don't call it, and since Birla is not the sponsor, I'll use Birla's name. If you're doing SIP in Birla Equity Fund, don't say Birla Equity Fund. Call it Switzerland Equity Fund or Switzerland Equity Birla Fund or whatever. If you're doing a recurring deposit to fund your son's education, don't say SBI recurring deposit or Bank of India recurring deposit or whatever HDFC. Say, if your son's name is Shyam, call it Shyam Education Deposit. See the kind of focus that comes in. This focus doesn't come in because mind creates havoc. And I tell you what, as human beings, we do require money. But money will not solve all our problems. I'm not against money. What are our basic needs? Food and water. For food and water, we need money. What is our secondary need? Our secondary needs are protection, security. We need clothing and shelter, for which we also require money. But then if somebody knows Maslow's law of hierarchy, the third, fourth, and fifth stage, which is love and belongingness, which is self-respect, and which is self-actualization, that does not come with money. But somehow, because the first two stages got fulfilled with money, we feel the third, fourth, and the fifth stage will also get fulfilled with money. Now, because of that, there is a problem. Now, first two stages, if you have fear, if you have insecurity, if you have anxiety, it's perfectly all right. You will have, because it's a question of survival. We will have this. And it's not I who's talking. It's our scriptures who are talking about this. Scriptures have mentioned all these things in such a brilliant way. We are blessed to be born in a region where scriptures teach us about money, about Lakshmi. They've given status of goddess Lakshmi. Respect it, worship it. And I don't have to teach this to this state. You all know that very well. We need to respect. The problem is that we feel Lakshmi is in one place and money is somewhere else, and then there is a problem. If money is creating anxiety to you, you are treating as money. But if that money, if that wealth is giving you peace and calmness, you're treating as in Lakshmi. And that's what your mind will tell you how it is. If you're getting fears, anxieties, insecurities, if you're getting other emotions, that means you're treating as money. And that's not going to solve your problem. Because beyond certain point, money will not solve your problem. I'm not going to speak against money. I will talk about financial planning.